Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This time it's gonna be a battle report of Warriors of the Dark Gods against Highborn Elves from our practice day in November. So I'm trying out Warriors with double Helmor and triple Chosen. I had a matchup first against other Warriors of the Dark Gods, which I lost quite badly, and now I am off against Highborn Elves. So basically, it's one of these really rather standard Highborn Elf lists, I would say. With a Prince on a Griffin, with some stuff, with a Prince with Master of Canray Tower, and some stuff. Commander on a Line Chariot with Ring of Pearl Throne and Royal Huntsman. Some Sea Guards, some Lancers, Fire Phoenix, some Flame Wardens to put the High Prince in, and a Shade of the Fiery Heart and Triple Reaper. Matchup wise, I thought that this would be quite a good matchup for me because, well, I just have too many wounds for him to deal with. Only real problems of his list for mine, I think the Flame Wardens with the Prince is just a problem for everyone. Even though the Flame Wardens are only 15 models, so that is not that high. And then he has the three very mobile models with the Initiate, the Phoenix and the Griffin. Those together can also potentially form an issue. So we'll get into the game. I dropped for first turn. I think we were playing Marching Columns and King of the Hill. My opponent I chose the ruins on the left, and my opponent chose the hill on the right side for the King of the Hill objective. I just marched up, not really as fast as I could, but rather quickly. Like in some cases quickly, and in some other not that quickly. Like these chosen, they just walked up so that they kept their resilience 5 basically, the -1 to wound from sloth. These chosen were teleported, so they had this sloth bonus. These warrior knights have the wasteland torch. This field was turned into a ruins. And these guys just marched up. Helmar moved up. Fallen moved up, and these chosen, I think I just marched them up because they're out of line of sight of most shooting anyways. And then I cast, I don't know if it was Breath of Corruption or Pentagram of Pain, I cast something to kill 4 lancers off, 4. And then I gave the turn to my opponent. This battle I'm not going to have too many pictures. Because we were just playing the game mostly. But yeah, at this point I think it looks quite okay for me. So I have my pre-set portals. I have teleported one of my units to deal with the flank of my opponent basically. And I have put down another portal down under both of the bolt throwers. I'm expecting my opponent to just put something on the portal to block basically the teleport, and I don't really want to remove that portal, even though I could also just not teleport next turn, make an extra portal somewhere, and then pop this portal and put it somewhere else, maybe even in the same place. What? Yeah, so I still have to learn a bit how to play with Helmors, but the options are endless. This is after my turn 2 moves, so I did charge in with the Sloth Warriors onto the Reaper over there, which I managed to do. As you can see, the Phoenix of my opponent managed to land there, put some hits on my Sloth Warriors, which was totally unnecessary. I could have just turned my unit a bit more so that he could not get out of line of sight after swooping over, or just measure the distance. I charged in with my Warrior Knights onto the Seaguard Reaper over here. In combat, I didn't manage to kill it with my 400-point block of Warrior Knights. It was just so sad. So I didn't create any space for my opponent to charge in with his Griffin as well, which was a nice thing, I guess. But he still has to counter charge with the Flame Wardens. I tried to just lure out the charge with the Flame Wardens so that I could counter charge him again, and then hopefully make something out of that. Otherwise, I teleported another unit of Chosen from over here to over there, and put an extra portal all the way in his back line. So I tried to move up quite aggressively, just to make sure that my opponent would probably just throw in his line chariot to maybe kill my mage. I got 2 wounds on a miscast. I was like, well, if I can trade my mage for his line chariot, it's not even a bad deal, right? Because my mage just does some damage here and there. I don't really care for the magic too much, to be honest. So I think I can also go for a cheaper magic phase even. Yeah, and otherwise the helm also are just in Overwatch positions. Later in the game, we go to, I think, his turn 4 or something. So I did stick around with my Warrior Knights. I did manage to get rid of the Seaguard Reaper. I did get my counter charge onto the flank with my Warriors, and my opponent did manage to hold that one. So I was expecting basically for him to just break because well, at that point he still had a big flank on me. I had a big flank on him. I have one more combat rest than him, but in terms of damage output, he's not doing that much damage onto my Warrior Knights. I am doing some damage to him. I was expecting to win by 3 or something, maybe, but I didn't manage to do anything meaningful there. The stand here in the middle is Phoenix. This is the reason why I am more fan of just a little bit smaller models that you actually keep on your base, whilst I'm just playing with my massive elephant here, which is also the reason why I'm still looking for a smaller Helmo, because I don't like having a situation in a game where you realize that the stand is actually a Phoenix and then it charges out of nowhere with a direction that you don't really know. So for a practice game it's fine, but WTC, ETC, please don't do this. Yeah, otherwise, so he did go in with his line chariot onto my unit over here, and I just dueled him out. Next turn I think I just hellfired him to death because I was in base contact with my sorcerer, so I didn't even have to strike him in combat. I do manage to clean up quite a lot of stuff here. The Chosen, I was just playing a bit too fast and my opponent's Seaguard got away, and then I had to take care of that, and that was a nuisance. He also had one cavalry guy that snuck away, so I still have to pay some attention to the objective now. These were all things that I could have prevented, but I didn't. In the end, this is gonna break though. I think the next picture is just the result of that. So this will break. Warrior Knights will break because this model actually still has quite a decent damage output. I think he did like 9 wounds or something to the warriors, including the breath tag. So which is quite decent, I would say. So these guys break. They break through all here, and they get caught actually by the Phoenix guard. These guys break this direction, get caught by the dragon, and we end up with this situation more or less. Sadly, this is the last picture that I took, but I can walk you through what happened next in the game. So the Helmar focused his attention onto the Seaguard, just pushing them away from the objective, charging, charge checks, fleeing, rallying, etc. My Chosen went in onto the Seaguard, left 10 models, which meant that they did not, that they were still steadfast, so didn't break. And then I think the Phoenix guard went into the side of my warriors, but I did so much damage to these guys that they broke from combat. I also started smacking this dude, and then I eventually killed him. The eagle also went into the sloth warriors, but didn't even do that much damage. And then these sloth warriors, basically they went into the, I think they went into the griffin. Don't think I killed the griffin, but they went into the griffin or something, and then they, in the end, they scored the objective with the wizard still alive. So at the end of the game, I still had my 3 units of Chosen. Yes, 3 units of Chosen. Still had with my Helmor. This guy still died because by now it had like 6 wounds from all kinds of random sources. And I did push my opponents from the objective, just took the objective myself, meaning that it turned into a drum roll 15-5 for me. I think it matches quite well with my expectations because I'm just feeding too many bodies into my opponent's lines. Downside of the list so far is that it's not really concerted. So basically, as you can see here, so I have to just move up with my chosen on foot. It's also matchup dependent, right? So Highborn Elves is quite defensive in this play style. So it's quite logical that you just have to teleport a unit first turn. I could have teleported another unit first turn as well, but I didn't really want to put anything right in the middle of the fray. Maybe I should have, but then this unit basically is deployed wrong because the wizard, I didn't really want to put him in front as a main attraction for my opponent. But having a unit of sloth guys here would have been basically amazing, especially with this deployment where my opponent's line chariot cannot even charge in. So you would have to do something either with his griffin or yeah, just chaff me up with something. So I think it's once again a mistake on my part. Still learning to play the list. And also once again, yeah, 2 units of chosen is enough. You don't need a third. A bit underwhelmed by the warrior knights as well, not being able to just kick down a war machine. It's also a bit dice dependent, of course. But they don't do anything that like a chosen chariot cannot do, or a normal chariot even cannot do. So I am heavily contemplating other choices there. But we will see what will happen over time. Thanks to my opponent for a lovely game, and I will see you then next time.